feel like Gordon Bombay would have taken his career to even further heights.
Everything's flashy, everything's cocaine, everything's
Fun.
Open wide for some soccer!
I don't care what your personal thoughts are at home. I care that you hate the Cowboys.
Call this college ruled!
Welcome, everybody, to the Sports Experience Podcast. I'm Chris. This is Dom. Just a couple of comics who love sports, love talking sports. Do us a favor, give our channel a sub and make Dom happy, please. And if you have any suggestions, pop them in there, man. We love doing suggestions just from fan ideas. Like, we're always looking for cool ideas. And who are we talking about today?
So today, we haven't done one in quite some time. I think since John Daly, possibly.
I think John Daly was
Either
our,
the last
but I kind of forget what
I
happened.
forget that episode, too.
Forget it.
That was a lot of Grey Goose.
Oh, my God.
That was a lot of it. But we got back on the links today. We have Ben Hogan.
Ben Hogan.
One of the greatest golfers of all time.
Yep, really one of the original stars in U.S. golf, and someone that I heard a lot about, didn't know all of this stuff in his life, and that's why I love doing this.
Yeah, like when Tiger Woods was breaking all of those records before he got caught for whatever he was doing, it was always like, we're breaking Ben Hogan's record, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Who's Ben Hogan?
Yes, seriously, though.
So William Ben Hogan, born August 13th, 1912 in Stephenville, Texas, the third and youngest child of Clara and Chester. Grew up there in Dublin, Texas. His dad was a blacksmith.
Yep, came from a blacksmithing family, if you will.
His grandpa, I had read, was a blacksmith for the 1st Mississippi Cavalry Regiment in the American Civil War.
Yep.
I don't know if it's YouTube strikes, but he fought on the losing side. Let's just say that.
Hey.
But he became his dad also became a blacksmith, just like his grandpa. And he was a bottler at the Dr. Pepper factory before he opened his own blacksmith shop.
And that quickly declined. So it's interesting because we were talking about before the podcast, the switch that technology has on some of this, because he opened up a blacksmithing shop thinking like, my father did this. This is going to be a great business for my family. And
foolproof, because all horses need horseshoes.
And that's exactly what he was thinking. And then what happened?
Henry Ford comes along and just shits in his apple pie.
Yep.
I mean,
horse shits.
Horse shits in his apple. Just leaving road apples.
It's kind of crazy to think about. And his father ended up taking his own life because the financial struggles and the blacksmithing really just became a thing of the past.
He should have done stand-up.
Oh, man.
Like, you always hear those stories, people in their last dime, like, you know what, I'm going to get on stage. You should have been like, what's the deal with these automobiles?
Just some vaudeville.
Just some vaudeville and just like, they're taking our jobs.
They're taking our jobs.
So his dad in 1922 ends up shooting himself in the family home. Ben pretty much took that terribly.
Yes. I mean, obviously, that's like one of those things that really affects somebody for like the rest of their lives. And it then puts so much more strain on the family, him as a kid. And luckily, which is such a weird kind of turn from this, he was like, I need to start making some money to bring in.
Yeah, because like his older brother had to quit school and then became an accountant. So he was like, all right, I'm going to stop the bleeding here. But Ben's like, I need to get money too for our family.
Yes.
Because shit's going down.
Shit's going down.
So he starts caddying at age 11.
A friend of his told him, he was like, if you want to make money, you can make 65 cents a round as a caddy.
You take drugs, Ben? Every day, sir. There's going to be probably a lot of those quotes from me coming up over the next 10 minutes or so.
Well, thank you very little. That
right in the lumberyard.
Right in the lumberyard. Where'd that one go? That was one of my favorites.
Oh, God. Take drugs every day, sir.
Oh, man. So he starts caddying, and he realizes he has kind of like extra time at the course to just hit some balls.
Yeah.
Because back then the range was not really a thing that the members of this golf course used. They almost like poo-pooed it, if you will, horse poo-pooed it.
There you go.
But it was more of like, well, gentlemen don't practice. That was kind of like a mentality that they had.
Which is fucking ridiculous.
It's like, I can't even imagine just going out on the golf course just
one time.
Yeah,
and golf is like the hardest thing to do.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous.
You don't just wake up out of bed one day and be like, I think I'm going to be a good golfer today.
Yep.
I'm a hockey player, but I'm playing golf today.
There you go.
I did read he learned club pointers from the club pro there at Glen Garden Country Club in Fort Worth. Ted Longworth, he told him it was all in the hips, Chris.
It's all in the hips. Well, this was the other thing that I found kind of interesting was he was not, because some guys are naturally just like, they understand how to hit the ball, all of that kind of stuff. They said, like, when he first got out there, he was horrible, but he practiced more than anybody by, like, a huge margin. So, like, he just became a really solid striker of the ball.
Yeah, and I had read also in relation to kind of his form, they would have this driving game amongst the caddies, and he's not a big dude.
No, he's
very not a big. What was he, like 5'8"?
Yeah,
140, 50 pounds essentially. So he learned how to strike the ball well and hit it farther based on technique and mechanics. Because the caddies would play this game where whoever had the shortest drive in this long drive competition had to go get all the balls.
Yep, had to go out and fetch the balls. So
fuck running.
Yeah, well, that's literally, it was like, I'm not going out there. So there's like little things like that just improved his game more than I feel like everybody else who was out, all the other caddies, essentially.
I'm a gentleman. I don't need practice.
Yep, I'm a gentleman.
A gentleman. 1920. He said he was inspired also in 1927 when they had the PGA Championship in Dallas, when he saw the famous Walter Hagen with a fancy car and awesome clothes.
Because Walter Hagen was kind of that type of guy that was just kind of, they said this about him. He was just such a one of those like stars that would like, how like some guys show up to NBA games just in sweats and other guys show up in like full suits.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of like a ridiculously like just like stylish. That's exactly
he
what
was
I'm
like
thinking
Chocolate Thunder of his era.
Thank God.
I mean, white chocolate thunder in
There
this
you
case. Go. He worked at Glen Garden's golf shop, started at age 16 because at 15, you can't caddy anymore.
No, so he age out of being able to caddy, but he did get a job in the pro shop.
And he's with his buddy there, Byron Nelson, I believe.
And, well, I saw a quote on him and Byron Nelson that they were friends, but never close friends.
Yeah.
And you see what happens when he's 16. They have like a it wasn't even like, because they called it a caddy tourney, but it was more of like if you work there and you're not a member kind of tourney.
Like Caddyshack.
Yes, literally like Caddyshack.
Only not funny.
And well,
I mean,
and then they ended up tying on the 18, and it was normally a sudden death going into the extra hole. One of the members, who was Nelson's friend, was like, "Oh, we're actually going to do a full 9 to see who wins." Hogan ends up losing and was very distraught over this, because he was like, well, they changed the rules right as we're playing so that you have a better chance of winning.
My fucking dad just died.
Dude,
come on, cut me some slack.
Fucking dad just died, man.
Come on, dude. So he's too old to end up caddying. In Christmas 1928, though, his mom gets him a new set of clubs.
Yep.
I saw. And that's what really kind of took it to the next, I'm just practicing, to get good at golf, to I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Well, I imagine he was playing with some pretty bad secondhand clubs.
Yeah. Oh, beforehand? Oh,
yes.
God, yeah.
And then I think he said his mom paid like $1 a club or something. Like that's a lot of money for them, I imagine.
How have we inflated that much?
Oh, my God. It's crazy.
Thanks a lot, Federal Reserve.
Yeah. You know who we're talking about.
Anyway.
Whoever pops into your mind, that's who we're talking about.
So, August 1929, he scores his last amateur victory before going pro. Dropped out of high school, and he told his mom he'd read books and newspapers to make up for it.
Well, she was very concerned about this being viable thing for him to do and make money. And he said he was like, I'm not gonna just become like some idiot playing golf. Like, I'm still gonna read. I'm still gonna do this. And like, she was like, oh, okay. And I mean, to his credit, he does go through a stretch of really. He wasn't at the level.
The beginning was just terrible for him.
He's not, and he even said this when he first started playing in like 30, 31. He was like, I shouldn't be out here with these guys.
His first couple tournaments in 30 and 31, he just withdrew.
Yes, he withdrew.
He withdrew. He didn't want to be a part of it. He went back to Fort Worth after those years, just working odd jobs. Mopping floors. He was working in a hotel as a bellhop and a croupier at a night hotel,
which is like a
gambling
dealer, which he said was the only job that he had that he was ashamed of, because he was never really into gambling. There was a lot of thought in that time that it was like the devil's thing. But yeah, he actually said he was embarrassed to have that job, but he just could not make money playing golf. And
I mean, that would have been Pete Rose's dream job.
I know. Oh my God. And furthermore, you have to pay when you're not making money, you're losing money.
Yes.
That's something else that, like, the travel, the entry into tourneys, like it's an interesting path that he took, because in this first block of his years, he was not good.
No, And his lady was awesome. She was a goddamn rock of Gibraltar for him.
No, seriously. His
she
wife
stuck by him.
Yes, his wife was because he gets this feeling like, I'm not there for my family financially, like I should quit this, get like a real full-time job with a salary. And she literally said something like, I think she said, no, like, you have to stick with it. You will be good enough.
Oh, for sure. 1931, he's loaned $75 and kind of hits the road here.
Yep, 25 from his brother and 50 from somebody else, and
from a businessman.
Yeah, so it's they could tell that he had the potential to be great, but there's so much stuff with golf. It's such a mental game that I imagine the stress of trying to win money that you actually need is horrible.
Oh yeah. So in one of the tournaments, he didn't win any money, but he got a bag of oranges, which he lived off of for a week.
Yeah, and I think
that's the most depression era. And he's doing this right as the United States and the world economy is heading towards the shitter.
Yep, and I think he said, you can't eat trophies.
Yes.
That's literally a quote from him in this era where it was like, I need to make money. And you're right, nobody was making money.
And fucking, what was it? It's like the Grover Cleveland Alexander one. Like, you can't eat the Hall of Fame.
Yes. Yes.
But some of that might have been his fault. Ben's trying. Ben's really trying here. In January of 32, he's at the LA Open, and he wins his first check, $50.
Yep.
He didn't win the tournament, but he was like, give me one of those big ones. I don't care.
Yeah, give me one of those big ones. You got it for him.
Gets $200 at the Agua Caliente Open, and then places in the Phoenix Open there as well. So he's got some confidence, and he decides to head east. He ends up broke, though.
Yep.
Moves back to Texas.
I was going to say 33, I think 34 is when he really tried to, like, make a go at it and lost all of his money.
Yeah, so when he's working at a pro there in Cleburne, there in Texas, he's learning about golf clubs, I had read. So he's learning about, like, not only the mechanics of golf, but, like, how to use his clubs properly.
Because he had to fix a bunch of clubs. Yep. He was out there in the practice range a bunch, where when you look at his career, you could tell where he really has it locked in, and it's not right now.
No. So this is the point, 33, 34, where it gets so bad his wife Valerie is like, you can't quit.
Yeah,
because just can't quit.
He played at his first major. He played in the U.S. Open, missed the cut by he shot like a 79, and went to his wife, and it was just like, I'm losing money. And this is right. She said, you can't quit. It's crazy because he went to the 36 U.S. Open and missed the cut again. So, like, he's constantly paying to enter these opens and, like, all of the Phoenix Open and just losing money.
He's either breaking even or losing money.
Yep.
And the only thing he's able to go back to are these club pro jobs.
Yep.
Back in Texas. Has $1,400 in his savings and then hits the road again in 1937. Brings his wife.
So this is when he actually tries to be on the PGA Tour. So they were like trying to like get this tour going. Ends up losing a ton of money.
Oh yeah,
like pretty much all of it. And then they park their car at this hotel in I forget where it was on the East Coast.
Oh no, it's the Oakland Open.
It's the Oakland
Which
Open.
This is a very typical Oakland story.
Hey, Raiders don't play there anymore. All right?
The spirit's still there, Chris. The spirit of auto theft is still there.
Well,
part theft.
They don't park their car in the hotel parking lot because they would have to have paid. They don't have the money to do that. They go out to find their car. All the wheels are missing.
Yes. But who comes to his rescue, though?
Old Nelson, who at this point is like, I feel like Hogan feels like he's his rival, but with the way Nelson's actually playing and is a lot better, he's like, I'm not your rival. Like, you're below me. That's kind of
my little brother.
Yes,
even
that's
though they're
kind
like
of
the same age. Yeah.
They are. They're like 4 or 5 months apart or something.
Mm-hmm. So he helps him out, gets him to the tournament, finishes sixth, wins $285, and they only had $86 left.
Yep.
In California, he does awesome in these tournaments.
Yes.
The Sacto Open, he finishes third, gets another $350 and a sweet check. In 1938, he goes to the Masters. First time he plays in it.
Yep.
Finishes 25th, but like
makes the cut. Yeah. So you see that he's getting better and better, and it's interesting when you look back because he really doesn't hit his stride until like way later than a lot of players.
Yeah, so he gets his first win there in 38 with Vic Gezzi in the Hershey 4-ball competition. It's like, that's what I mean. It's his first win, and it's $1,100 of Depression era money.
Yeah.
That was like life-changing.
No, seriously though.
He said it was this is what he claimed was the turning point in his career, because then he just starts fucking reeling them off here. He learned this year also from one of his trainers about club grip. He started loosening the grip on the club. He didn't play with gloves.
No, he was cavemanning it out there,
which is awesome.
And you're right. He loosens his grip a little bit and starts to get more of like a tighter finesse shot. That, I mean, obviously, because you're right. It's like right around 38, 39, 40. He really like becomes the Ben Hogan that we kind of know. And then we all know what happens in 40 to 45. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ben Hogan just keeps winning golf tournaments.
Yeah.
But no, in 19, what was I looking at?
Yeah, where were you?
In 39.
In 39,
he had 16 top 10 finishes.
Yep.
And 7th on the money list. So now...
money's not...
Fuck being a golf pro full time.
Yes,
like,
money's not an issue.
This is where I go out of season to just, like, stash stuff away, you know.
And he was still getting jobs as golf pros, but not teaching people lessons.
Yeah.
So he got one in like someplace in New York where he would literally just show up and practice all the time, and they were like, no, he's a pro, because they had this like money to throw around, and they were like, isn't
Come
it
see
cool?
Ben Hogan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool that Ben Hogan is out here, and you just kind of be like, there he is.
And he's like, I'm not wasting any time.
Yes.
I can practice whenever the hell I want to.
And I feel like this is the first time that money isn't an issue, where he's playing for literally like, we're not going to eat tomorrow if I don't win. That kind of shit.
Oh, for sure. 1940, he scores his first solo win at the North-South Open in Pinehurst.
Pinehurst number two,
that's
which is
right.
a harder course, but it is that's like, it was like the second of like what a U.S. Open was kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Like they don't have it anymore, but like that's when you start, because he literally had a record 11 under, which nobody was hitting that really.
Oh yeah.
And so he set the record for that tourney at 11 under, and then people are like, holy shit, this guy is like amazing.
Yeah, he won like 3 tournaments in a row that year.
Yep.
And his putting's kind of coming along.
And he was people would make fun of him for how much he practiced putting. If you know anything about golf, putting is where you lose the most strokes, by far.
Or I can just show up and do it right-handed and somehow not suck.
Well, that was great.
That was hilarious.
I loved that.
Oh, I don't have a putter. Oh, fuck, no one's left-handed here.
Nope. We got one more lefty out there now. We got Danny out there.
Oh, they got Danny? All right, good.
Danny's
glad to
a
hear
lefty.
that. All right. So 1941, he becomes the head pro at the Hershey Country Club.
Yes.
And that's where that tournament is that he won his first one at. It's kind of like a home base away from home.
Yes.
I guess, for him. 5 wins that year in 41 for Hogan, and 11 times in second place. So now he's just putting money away.
Yes. Now it's not even a question because he has these kind of weird pro salary gigs, and he's like getting in the top 10, 5 of money list every single year. So like I feel like he's feeling like Hagen, where he's just like showing up like, I got money now, boys.
Want some jazz cigarettes, fellas?
Exactly.
I got them in my cat. No, I got them in the car that led to my father's death.
He's still taking a horse and buggy around to
Oh
turns.
God, that would be fun. Ben, why don't you buy a car? Fuck cars.
Yeah. Oh my God. Why did you hit your ball straight into the highway? Let me tell you why.
Jesus knows why.
Yep.
So, January 42, he starts out. He wins the LA and San Francisco Open, wins the Asheville Open again in 1942. In 1942 at the Masters, he's tied with Byron Nelson there, and they go to an 18-hole playoff.
Which is crazy. Just to point out that they play 18, you go to a playoff, and then they go to an 18-hole playoff.
Yeah. And what happens, Chris?
He loses that one, right? 42?
Loses by a stroke,
Yeah.
which is just thinking, well, at least they didn't change the rules on me this time.
Yes. No, seriously. But that's where you start to see Nelson as his, like, he is his contemporary. He is, like, at that level. And then what happens in 43?
Oh, I did want to bring up,
go ahead,
since there's
please.
no U.S. Open because of the Second World War,
Yep.
at the Country Club in Chicago, they have a tournament there, and he wins
He
by
wins.
3 strokes.
You're right.
So
Yep.
it's technically not a major, but it's like a major.
Yes.
But it's like, this is the first one of his really big W's.
Yes. Because
the tour.
in all respects, it should have been the U.S. Open.
Yes.
But because of World War II, they were like, nah, we're not going to call it that.
We're going to call it something different. Thanks a lot, Hitler.
Yeah.
Doesn't play in 43.
Well, I was just going to say he gets drafted. And he actually, I saw a thing about it where he got really pissed off at this because Nelson was given
he had like a blood clot disorder, right?
Yes, but he was given because like these guys who were like professional athletes, like baseball players, sometimes they would be given like not so serious like frontline positions in the Army. He was not. He was not. Like Hogan went out there and was on an Air Force carrier and like that kind of shit. And Nelson, like, literally, they were like, well, we're going to give him a sports exempt. Even though it was like a blood clot, they said that because he then, like...
And it's not like it's Rogers Hornsby where it's like, you are the sole provider for your entire family and
Yes.
they can't starve.
Yes.
Like...
So it's interesting because Nelson goes on from 43 to 45 when Hogan's serving. I think he wins like 11 tourneys.
Yeah. And what was it? I wrote in my notes, Nelson kicking ass on tour, not serving, dirty Nazi. He's not, but that's just the equivalent of that in my notes. But I was just not serving.
Well, and here's
Tom Hanks wouldn't have come after you, friend.
Here's a interesting tidbit. He comes back in 46 and kind of cleaned up his swing a little.
Yeah.
And then has the first... what would be considered an instructional, like, I think it was in a magazine or newspapers, about how he hits the ball. And it was like a 5-step thing that nobody really saw before. Like, that was not a common thing where professionals were like, this is how I do it. And people were like, well, his swing, it's a little bit tighter. It's a little bit, like, smoother. And this is when coming back from World War II, you see Ben Hogan really dominate because something else happens, Nelson retires.
Yeah. I like that you brought that up because who better, even though like, you know, people are different body types, they have different just kind of mechanics as far as striking a ball or whatever they do, you know, flexibility. He's the perfect person to do this for golf because he's a fucking, I won't call him I guess a course rat. You know,
Yes.
like a gym rat.
Yes.
Like, he's the perfect person to show just your average Joe what to do on a golf course.
Exactly.
Like, hey, you want to get big? You might not be as good as me, but
No.
like, just this is how you practice. This is how you prepare. This is how your body should work.
Which was unheard of back then. Professional
Gentlemen
athlete-
don't do it.
No, gentlemen don't do that.
Men
Gentlemen
of their time.
wouldn't practice. And he was like, no, you practice and the other thing that people said was when he was out on the range or putting, he would practice like it was, hole 16 at the U.S. Open. He took his practice as serious as he took the actual playing.
Oh, yeah, no, he's like the John Stockton of golf.
Exactly.
So 46, he wins 4 times in the first 3 months.
Yep.
Loses the 46 Masters by 1 stroke.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up losing the U.S. Open as well that year after going to a playoff, which sucked. But he ends up winning a tournament there at the Colonial Country Club in Fort Worth, which had to feel nice for him to be able to come home. And,
Yep.
But the 46 PGA Championship at, the Portland Golf Club, Nelson, they thought this was going to be, I think, the bracket where they went up against each other, right?
And yes, because it was like they were on either side of the bracket. Nelson had announced that he was probably going to retire this year, and they were like, ooh, here it comes. Nelson goes out in like the first round.
Yeah.
And Hogan literally just goes through and dominates. And this is where, where you see Nelson kind of fall and Hogan just kind of like ascend to this like the best player out there.
Enjoy your blood clots, sissy. He probably didn't say that. He seemed like a nice guy.
No, he definitely was a gentleman.
A gentleman of the time. He won 13 times total that year.
Yep. So now,
How do you win 30? That's like Tiger Woods in his prime, if not better.
yes, no, seriously, and that's what they said. He was just so much more dominant and consistent than a lot of these guys. Because anybody that plays golf, you go out and you're like, dude, I shot great today. You go out the next day, you're like, I don't know how to play golf.
Oh, yeah.
It's so common like that, but they were like, he practiced so much, he was so consistent that it really kicked in after we killed Hitler.
That's true. I mean, like, that made all the bad golf juju go away.
We did that.
We did that. America. Technically, he did it, but...
That's true. That's true.
1947. One of the things I liked, but I found so interesting about researching this period of his career is one of the big reasons Nelson retired was burnout.
Yeah.
And in 47, Hogan decides, fuck it, I'm not suffering from that. I'm in still great health. I'm going to play in less tournaments, but not burn myself out on this sport that makes me so much money.
Well, and when you think about this, the travel every single week,
Because it's not fun travel.
No, you're driving. They haven't invented air conditioning. Mm-hmm. It's got to be so brutal on just like your mental state that I think him backing off of going to every single thing that he's invited to really helps his game in these later years.
Oh, for sure. At 47, they won the Ryder Cup. He's
First one since 38.
Well, I mean, there was some stuff happening in Europe over that portion of time.
We don't like to talk about
We don't
it.
like to talk about
We
it.
haven't referenced it once this episode.
Not once. So if you don't know, like, haven't since 38, someone just coming in at that point.
And
38, what happened?
Crushed them. That was the other thing. There's such a weird American pride thing. We beat them like 11-1, and we were like, yeah, we also did that a couple of years ago.
I mean, you say France so many times, at some point it's really their fault, right?
It really turns out it was the French people's fault the whole time. How do you not have defenses set up in Belgium?
It's our elan. Oh, those butterfly goalies. Anyway, 48, he wins the LA Open.
Yep.
He does so well in California.
He really does. And you got to think weather, just like being able to be relaxed. There's like stuff like that kind of plays into it.
His lady probably enjoys going there. Like everybody wins.
I'm sure.
Valerie wins too. 48 at the PGA Championship at Norwood Hills Country Club. He wins in the final.
Yep.
216 holes, 7-day for men of their time, Chris. When I read that, I'm like, that's a lot of fucking golf.
It's so much golf.
48. I mean, if I tried to play 216 holes just like in a 7-day I get alcohol poisoning.
Oh yeah.
Like
I would get alcohol poisoning on the second day. I can't do back-to-back days anymore.
oh Jesus. 48 goes to the US Open. He's leading and he ends up beating Sam Snead.
Yes.
Who was also a great contemporary of that time. Won it at the Riviera Country Club again. An aggregate 8 under, which was a new record, which stood until Tiger.
Until Tiger comes in.
About 3/4 or a half a century later. That's how good he was. I don't think people of a younger generation and without like the popularity of golf, like with Tiger, understand that about people like Ben Hogan.
Because the game advanced so much from when, like, just clubs, balls, even courses, everything advanced so much, but nobody was really at his level until Tiger came along and just broke all of his records.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Following the win, he won 5 more tournaments in a row, and then he got started getting sponsored by McGregor Golf. And that kind of took it. They kind of took it in the shorts because they were prize matching all the money.
Yes.
And he kept winning.
It
was like the Krusty Burger thing. That's all I thought of was the Olympics. Like, oh God, I'm gonna take a bath on this.
I thought they were due. That is
the generals were due.
That was a different reference, but it's my favorite Krusty.
Oh, I could go for a condor egg omelet right about now. January 49, he plays with Bing Crosby in a pro-am, and they win. They don't end up fighting each other.
Yep.
He also goes to Pebble Beach and wins the Long Beach Open. Runner-up at the Phoenix Open there in 49. And then we get to the badness.
Well, it's kind of crazy because he's obviously in his prime.
And he's at the top of his fucking game.
Top of his game. He's winning. So he's not only winning, he's getting top 2, 3 when he's not winning. That's just something somebody else said where I remember just being like, yeah, if you wanted to win one of these tourneys in this era, you had to beat Ben Hogan. That was like the mindset.
And it's guys like Nelson and Snead who are contemporaries that are also all-timers.
Yep.
It's like when you look at the West. We always talk about in basketball of that era, just like
in the 90s.
Man, fuck this shit.
Yep.
Now we're gonna all get beat by Jordan. So what was it? February 2nd, 1949. It's shaping up to be a great year for him.
Yep.
Like everything is
already. Yeah.
Already. He's driving on the highway in near Van Horn, Texas, and they come to a narrow 2-lane bridge. There's fog. It's 8:30 in the morning. And a Greyhound bus is trying to pass someone.
Yeah, so it's 2 lanes. A Greyhound bus tries to pass a truck going. The bus is going 50, and they say because it's foggy, they say that Ben just saw 2 giant headlights coming at him, which me and Dom love.
Of course,
we're headlights guys.
Absolutely.
But literally his reaction to this, because he knows it's going to be a head-on collision, is to dive in front of his wife to try and protect her. This then in turn saves his life.
I mean, I think it's one of those things where you did the right thing, Ben, so now you get to live.
Yes. No, seriously.
I mean, granted, he got fucked up.
He gets, but they said because head-on collision with this bus, his steering wheel just came right where he was. It still rips him in the shoulder. He has shoulder pain for the rest of his life. It pretty much rips his entire left side. That's what they said because, and we'll talk about it later, he has partial blindness in his left eye, which becomes like literally it's not completely, but he's legally blind in his left eye.
Doesn't really tell anyone about this either.
Nope.
Just more or less like, I'm still golfing. Ben, can you go fuck your mother?
Yeah, no, seriously though. He doesn't talk about it. It's not like today where you have all these injury reports and whatever. He's literally just out there like, no, I'm fine.
The injury report, it just lists Greyhound.
Well, you said they let the driver still drive.
Volkswagen.
It's crazy.
So what ends up happening, his wife saves him. She's the one that drags his ass out of the car, though.
Yes.
So
they both saved each other.
Call that teamwork.
I like it.
He gets him to a hospital in El Paso, and begins his recovery there, and he said that was when his personality kind of changed.
Yes.
He was not necessarily cold, but he was a very quiet guy outside of a very tight inner circle of people.
Well, they said in media he almost had like the same responses.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing it for the team. And he never had what was it on his shower shoes.
Oh yeah.
Never had mold on his shower shoes. You pitch 17 games and you're winning. You can have mold on your shower shoes. He didn't have that. But he was just very like professional with media. After that, he was like, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I'm done with this like
Just
gentleman's bullshit.
The outpouring of support from the fans
That too.
was something he said really meant a lot to him. So what ended up happening to, like you said, the driver got to drive again.
Yes.
Involved in another crash.
Yep.
Which is, get that man a Greyhound. Why? Oh, Christ. Paid $127. Hogan, I did read, got a $25,000 per year, basically annuity from Greyhound after that for fucking him up.
Yep.
Which they're still in business. Good for them.
Well, like, especially when it happened, a lot of people were like, well, he's not going to be able to come back and play, at least at the level that he was at. Like we were saying, he was in his prime. And that's why I feel like Greyhound was just like, well, we're going to pay for the money that you're going to lose.
Well, what was wild is they had to bring in like a top surgeon, Dr. Alton Oxner, to do. He was the best vascular surgeon. They had to like airlift him out like on a B-29 to get him to do the surgery because a blood clot almost killed him.
Yep.
So he almost was no more after this. And this episode would probably end right now, but there's so much more Ben Hogan to go.
That's why I love it.
Yeah.
Because he's fucked up for the rest of his life. There's no like, he was really severely injured from this, but came back and played some of the best golf he'd ever played.
Yeah, so in 1950, he comes back, finishes fourth at the Masters. Then he's doing this nearly blind in his left eye.
Yep.
I wrote down, and I'm just like, this is crazy.
And shoulder pain.
Shoulder pain.
His left shoulder was never, he was like, I saw an interview that he talked about way later, it was like 90, where he was like, yeah, my shoulder hurt from the day of the accident until now. And you're just like, yep.
It said before all of the matches, he would soak himself in hot water with Epsom salt, then take a bunch of aspirin, and then wrap himself in bandages, eat breakfast, and then practice. He's doing this for the rest of his professional golfing life, mind you. And he's playing, now we're going to get into some of the best golf ever.
Yep.
1950 at the U.S. Open. They're at the Marion Golf Club. And what more can you say about this comeback story, Chris? It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's waking up at 5 a.m. every day to go play golf.
Heading
into the last day, the 9:30 tee time, he goes 37 on the front nine to get the lead. And at that point, most of the 13,000 people have started following him.
Yes. To every hole.
Every single hole.
Yeah.
He ends up winning the U.S. Open, and after he, he won on the 18th hole.
One on the 18th hole, yeah.
So
one on the 18th. It's his first technical major.
Technical U.S. Open, yeah.
Yeah, or U.S. Open, sorry, because he did win the non-U.S. Open U.S. Open, but this is his first U.S. Open victory, and the fact that he did this after this bus crash made him more of a star to people, because people were like,
it's his second one because he won in 48.
He won in 48.
Yeah.
You're right. So it technically his third one, but whatever. But it was the coming back from this crash that people didn't think he was ever going to play golf again. And then he was like, no, I'm going to win majors. Not just like out there competing, like win majors.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely nuts. This is the one where he had that one iron shot.
Yeah, the one, yes.
So he hit the one iron, he gets that. the Miracle at Marion, going to 51, 52. 51, he's got basically his flu game, and he finishes third at the Masters.
At the Masters.
What was it? Wait. He won that year, didn't he?
No, he won in 51 and lost in 52.
That was it. 51, yeah. 51.
He won in 51, lost in 52.
Yeah, on the playoff.
Yes, in the playoff.
51 U.S. Open, I believe.
I think he got third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And because this is when he's battling Sam Snead.
Yep.
At this point. And then we get into the 52 season, I guess, golf season. He only plays in 3 tournaments. Mm-hmm. So it's not just the burnout he's trying to avoid. It's I don't know how much my body can hold up anymore.
Yes, because I feel like 52, he really, the injuries really start to creep in, and he's like, I need long periods of these breaks. And he still does. I forget what he does in 52, but I think he wins one of them. Mm-hmm. And then
so 51 he wins the Masters, because in 52 they start the Champions Dinner, and he had joked that the only reason they started it is because they knew they'd pick up the tab. So we're the guy that won the year before buys everybody the dinner there at the Masters, the Champions Dinner. So I thought that was a nice tradition that. It's
such a funny quote where they were like, "We should have a dinner. You guys should pay for it."
Oh, geez. He goes minus 14 at the Masters that year in 53.
53 is his year.
Yeah.
53, he wins the Triple Crown.
Which is insane.
Yes.
Well, it was even Dwight Eisenhower was making fun of his competition. Mm-hmm. That's how good that he was.
So he wins the Masters, he wins the U.S. Open, and he wins the Open Championship. Mm-hmm. And
it's the first time he played in the Open Championship, and it was controversial because the PGA was being held at the same time.
Yep.
Because it wasn't technically, I guess it was technically a major, but like not.
Yes.
Because a lot of Americans were not playing in the the British Open, essentially.
Yeah, that's what the Open Championship is.
Yeah.
Is the British Open. So it was, a lot of people were like, why are you going over there? And he's like, it's a major. I'm like, I'm going over there to compete with the best to see if I could do it. And he did. And that was like, it was such a
And he
great
did it with a
moment.
flu, 103
Yes,
temperature.
That's when he had the flu.
Which is, come on, dude. Like, he won a career Grand Slam.
Yes.
I think the only guy who did it was Gene Saraten.
Before him. Yes.
And I think you've only got maybe 3 or 4 guys after that.
Yep.
Who have won.
Rory, Tiger,
Arnold Palmer, Nicholas.
Yeah, I'm trying to think there was another newer guy that got it. I don't know. Whatever.
Well,
whatever.
They exist.
Yes.
But not many. Not many exist. He's the 53 AP Athlete of the Year, which is awesome. For a golfer to do that, Tiger might be the only one ever since then to have done it.
I think so.
Like, I can't think of maybe an Arnold Palmer, but
I don't know if they gave it to, because golf was just not looked at as that kind of sport that they should give. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you gotta be a special kind of awesome at that point. 55. 54 and 55 are near misses, essentially, for all of the majors for him, which is very sad. And then we start getting into the end of his career.
Well, he's like 55 years old at this point.
And I don't think there's a senior tour.
There's not a senior tour.
So
and
he's going out there, and it's like, I'm not going to go out there if I'm not at my best.
Yes.
You know? I don't play on the senior tour, but, you know.
But it is very much of like, I'm still going to play, but it is sprinkled tourneys throughout, Masters, U.S. Open, and he kind of hits that wall. And you got to think of like, if he didn't have all these injuries, could he have gone into the 60s as a dominant force, which I think he could have.
I think he finishes the 50s.
Yeah.
Like gangbusters.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how much he gets into the 60s where he's like in his 50s and there's no senior tour and you got younger guys coming up.
He plays in the PGA until 71.
Yeah, which is
that's
unbelievable.
That's the question is, could he have been still a top golfer in the 60s? Because he was saying like shoulder and his blindness, which he never talked about. He talks about it later. He was like, that was a huge problem for me because I don't know if anybody knows this. You got two eyes. One of them's gone. Your depth perception is all fucked up. So that
I'm thinking Valerie drove a lot after that.
Dude, all the time. Because his depth perception, think about golf as a game of depth perception. That's what it is.
He literally had everything working against him, and he still won these tournaments. That's what's like important tournaments against the best golfers in the world.
I do want to say this because we're wrapping this up. He had 64 PGA wins, 69 wins overall, and it was so much more than other golfers in that era that he really was like, to reference it to now, to like the Tiger Woods, where Tiger was winning all the time.
I mean, he won PGA Masters and U.S. Open twice.
Yep.
He won the British Open
Once.
time, but I think he only played in the British Open one time.
Yes, that one time.
He could have gotten the double Grand Slam.
Yes. I'm sure he could have done a double Triple Crown. I don't think we were calling it the Grand Slam then, but or whatever. You know, but,
you know what I mean.
Yes. He was just such an iconic golfer that I didn't know about all of this shit. I didn't know that he had a horrible accident that he then came back from and won the Triple Crown. Like, it's...
So, like you said, 64 career tour wins. Lived a very long time, though.
Yes.
July 25th, 1997, he dies of a stroke there in Fort Worth. I think he had dementia or Alzheimer's, too.
Yeah.
At
Well,
the end, which
it is...
He lived a long life, though.
Yes, it is fortuitous for a golfer to die of a stroke.
That's true.
Folks!
It's his last one.
It was his last stroke.
You don't have to take a penalty where you're going.
Come on, guys.
Oh, God.
Ben Hogan, one of the best golfers of all time. Thank you, guys.